hola Lemuria. ¿Cómo están? Gracias por estar. Hillary, oh my god, hi! It's so nice to have you here. Has it been like a decade? I hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. Oh my god, guys, what is going on in the world? Yes, watching from Kailua, Hawaii, baby. What? This place is rocking, man. I gotta tell you, since I got here, it's crazy. You can't make it up. Hawaii is a power spot. And the Muria Crystal Shop, you guys are amazing. Raku and Emi. Okay, I'll just give it like another minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining. Wow, yeah, it's a big week. New moon on Friday, but aside from that, it's like 4 planets in retrograde and the lessons are coming. So I think this is like the perfect time to be talking about this. I'm really, really excited. I gotta take a few breaths. So let's go ahead and just take a long inhale. And exhale, side out. Feels good. Hello, hello, welcome. All right. I'm getting you two going. It's connecting right now and we'll get started. If you have any questions, this is the Womban Wisdom question and answer. So if you have any questions about the mentorship course, I'm just gonna start rolling with it. Hello, hello. Hola, amor. Hola, hola, hola. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, the Womban Wisdom Mentorship Course. It starts the first week of June, and I also realized that we will be together through the triple eclipse gateway. Now, if you're not into astrology, don't even worry about it. It's not important. What it does mean is that it's a very powerful passage that's coming up. And it's starting, I mean, it opens this week, but we will be working together through it. So I just found that that's very divinely orchestrated because of the way that everything came in. So I'm gonna give just a really small, quick recap because pretty much a lot of the information I'm gonna be talking about is already, it's not already up, but a lot of the content, I won't be talking about like the chapters and stuff because that's already up, unless you have a question about it. But the way that this course came in, it's incredible. It started coming in on the 444 gateway in April, and then it all landed in May on the 555 gateway, like 555. And everything was just given. And since then, it's just been constantly information just coming in. And I found that it was incredible that we're gonna be working together through this triple eclipse gateway, which is such a powerful transformation passage. So I invite you to just jot down or think about what has happened for you generally in the month of June because of the solstice. And I find that when I look back in my life, massive shifts like getting married with my husband and moving to the country of the United States and just moving in general, like big life-changing things happen. And not to say that it has to be that physical, but it can be just mental or spiritual or decision, right? So like these things can happen through a solstice. And I'm not gonna go into the astrology of it, but because it's 2020 and there's new things coming in, it's just so powerful. I'm just so freaking excited. So let's get into it. So I invite you to not focus so much on the specific words that I'm saying, because I believe that a lot of the course content that you may find uses specific verbiage and it may not resonate, right? And so what I find helps is that don't focus on the verbiage or the words, right? Focus on what you're feeling, right? And that's what we call like the frequency, the stream, right? What is it that is calling you to listen? That is going to be the most important part if you decide to embark on a journey of this magnitude, right? Of this magnitude, meaning like energetically, it has the potential to shift you drastically because we're working on so many levels. This is not something that you sit down and study. This is something that you take with you and you look back on. So your energetic field is going to be taking in a lot. And so that's why I ask, don't worry about the words. This is so much more about what's being transmitted behind the words and the potential that lies behind the content that's being given at this time. So there is a massive collective awakening in the month of May, like right now. It started in April, and I have cross-checked with so many people around the world, and it has tapped on so many shoulders around the world, calling on the divine feminine and calling on the great mother. Now, I want to be clear about the fact that this is not a woman empowerment course in the sense of what you may think of it on the external as woman empowerment. This is the calling of the great mother, the calling and the activation of the divine feminine force. There are very little words to put to that, because when you sit with it or when you feel it in your bones, it overtakes you, whether you're a man or a woman or a child or whatever you consider yourself to be. The frequency that is awakening at this time on earth, and of course, nothing better than to be in the sacred pause when the entire collective is taking a huge reset. There are programs and belief systems and traditions and so many things that have been handed down and passed down lineage to lineage, that now when the divine mother is awakening, I mean, she's been awakened, but when she's calling us, it's all going to the wayside and it's all being restructured. And the beauty of it is that you get to decide how that happens. This is not something that I tell you what to do or think or any of that nature, right? This is, the information is being presented to you, and then you can stand up on it and decide how you want to move forward. That's how it works. So it's extremely powerful. I hope that makes sense. So there is a massive awakening happening right now, and this is the outcome of it. This course, this knowledge, this wisdom. I have been sitting with this wisdom for many, many, many years, working with a mentor. She's a beautiful woman, mystical divine teachings, and they're deep. And so this is why it is a 9-week course, so that you have the time to integrate, right? And you have the time to sit with this stuff. I have so many notes. I just want to get to like the important stuff, which is all important. So the divine feminine is releasing a lot of old programs. So I don't know if you're feeling it right now with all the planets in retrograde, but the divine feminine is so much about activating the balance between love and power. That balance has been lurking in humanity's consciousness and has been inverting this reality beyond time and space, right? Like this is something that has been inherited into the human DNA. And so it is time now to balance those frequencies, to balance out the scale. Again, this is not work that's just only women are going to do, right? The women will receive it and you will be bringing this out into your families, into your communities, to your men, to everybody, right? We have to start somewhere, and this is why we start with the womb, the place of the void of creation. And this is why we work together as women, to combine that void of creation and bring forth the new and share the new teachings. So this balance that's been not there between love and power, between mind and heart, right? It's like masculine, feminine. There's always like this tug of war. Let's be clear about the fact that we're not playing that anymore. This is not about a tug of war. This is not about women rise and men or whatever. It's not about that anymore. It's about finding the divinity in both and then allowing ourselves to merge. And this can happen within our own bodies, right? Our divine feminine and masculine within. And it can also happen within a relationship. It must happen within. That is for sure. There must be this balance of energetic forces, right? The yin and the yang. And then you can bring that into the world, relationships, creation. But that distortion, that inverted reality of I must be in my feminine, I must be in my masculine, I have to choose. This is no longer the case. We are now balancing, we are merging, we are finding that sacred union, which is the triangle, right? We'll be talking about so much of this stuff, so you don't have to worry about getting all the little tiny details, like what triangle. Masculine, feminine, right? Polarity, and then you have this beautiful point of balance, which is the divine union, which is the higher version, right? The higher way of going about it. And that is what's going to balance this type of distortion that we've been living in, because we have been living in an inverted reality, and there is no more of that. The goddess has awakened. Hola, Normi. And she is calling for these mysteries, for these teachings, for this wisdom to once and for all be in balance, be in a harmony, and then be shared with our brothers, with our sisters, with our families, with our friends, with our loved ones. And so it's kind of like the way that I feel inside, there's just no more patience for it. It's just, that's it. Like, it's kind of like that attitude of get out and get over it. And it's not get over it, but it's like we're stepping into the new. The wisdom is here. Whether you choose to receive it or not is up to you, right? If you're listening, like, you've already come halfway. So this new reality that we are creating, women are so much a part of that. And the womb is so much a part of that. And so how are we going to erase and let go of all of the programs, all of the belief systems, the ancient lineages, the hurt, the trauma, the shame, the blame, so much that's in our womb and in our cells that we are passing down without even knowing, right? This is something that just happens. Like a cell splits and the information in one cell is naturally divided. This is not something that we're doing out of hate. This is not something our parents passed down because they wanted to. This is just the wisdom wasn't there. The information is here now. The wisdom is here. And it is our responsibility to receive it, to integrate it, and to move forward in a new. And this is why I'm so excited about it, because it's deep, it's real, it's powerful, and there's just no more excuses for it. Straight up. It is time to remember, and it's time to awaken, and it's time to find that balance between power and love, mind and heart. And what is divine union within and also without, right, in our lives? I have decided to create bonus content, which I'm really excited about. So this is new, this is not anywhere. Thank you guys, I love you. I've decided to create bonus content in this mentorship program. I couldn't sleep last night. I stayed up. Anyway, I'm not even going to that. But bonus content. So I'm going to be providing deep meditative journeying because my journey started through meditative journeying. Like, I didn't even know what that was, but it just happened. So I want to share that with you guys. So I'm going to be providing meditative journeys, and I'm going to be providing movement. And that can be in a shape of workout or yoga, moving through the body. And I'll explain why, because again, it's that balance between mind and heart, mind and body, right? Spirit and matter, right? Like, we are merging the two. And so how do you do that if your mind is not able to find stillness within and presence within? How do you do that if you're not able to integrate it in your body, right? This is why movement is so important. So because not only is there so much light coming in, like new codes and new information, whether that makes sense to you or not, and we'll be working through the eclipse passage, but when you receive information like this, then it's important to feel it in your body. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that you read all this information and you have all this stuff and you have all these sessions and this and that and whatever experiences, and then it's kind of like you just want more. Like, you just want more and more and more because you're not actually integrating it. So it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. You're just zipping through it and it's not getting into your cells. So you're still hungry for more, right? This is how hungry for more, literally, like that's what happens when you don't eat well. You just want to eat more because you're not nourished. It's all the whole thing. So using movement to ground into the body, and then using mind, the mental practices of meditation and breathing, to be able to align the two, right? Because there's just such a powerful channel between the mind and the heart. And that is what's going to open this up, guys. That's the channel right there. If you want to call it Ascension, whatever you want to call it, right? Awakening, activation, DNA, give it so many different words. It's all the same. Like, we are activating this channel of light within. And that's how we're going to start to do it. You're going to start to balance the heart and the mind. And so I'm really excited about the bonus content. It just came to me last night. I was up all night and I had all the topics, and yeah, it was really exciting. So I'm glad to be providing that for you guys, to be able to really integrate the wisdom, because I know what it's like to receive a lot of information and then not know what to do with it. And then you start to feel the shifts in your life, right? When you receive information and then it starts to get into your field, you're going to start to feel differences in your life. You're going to be able to better balance those shifts in the magnetic field and in your reality if you can balance between the mind and the heart. If you can integrate more flowy, like with more ease and grace, right? That's going to help you not clash with the reality because it's so quick, right? Like the information and the light is coming in so fast and so strong that it can clash against your reality. That's why a lot of times when we receive this information, our lives change so quickly, right? Because we're shifting the magnetic field. We are shifting the literal substance that we are made out of, right? And this comes back straight into the womb, ladies. Like, that womb, if you have not worked with your womb, it's so powerful. That's the magnetic field that we're going to be working with. And so the intention behind all of this is to activate our creatrix codes, is to become the creatrix that you're meant to be, is to not feel that you are a victim to your circumstances, or that the life that you are living is just by coincidence, or just what you fell into, or this is just how it is. It's not that at all. It's to regain the ability to be a creator of your reality and to move more gracefully through the manifestations of what you want in your life. And that's what it is to be a creatrix, to bring forth in the physical reality, like you would a human being through the womb. You can also do the same through the womb and out of the heart womb, the womb heart. You can birth that reality outwards. But to find that creatrix code within and to activate it, to find that spark, is the key. So that's the intention behind this. To move the cellular imprints that we've inherited from X, Y, and Z, that we've picked up, that we ourselves decided to experience in our lives in previous relationships, and those cellular imprints are still there. Those old relationships, those old belief systems. And just so that you know, when your field merges with another, that imprint of that other's DNA, energetic imprint, information stays with you between 7 to 8 years. It stays in your cells. And I have physical experiences of that, meaning I have visions and meditations of clearing away of things 7, 8 years ago. I'm like, wow, interesting, powerful and interesting. That's how divine this vehicle is, right? It picks up so much. And then what do we do? It's like if somebody all of a sudden handed you a bazillion gajillion dollars plus the ability to create a universe, it's like, oh, that's nice. What the hell do I do with this? Like, you don't even know how to manage it. That's what we have here. That's what we're learning, how to activate and how to integrate, and then how to maneuver the ability to do so much. So being able to clear our experiences, our lineages, what's been passed down, what we picked up, is so much a part of coming into that balance between power and love. Yeah, we're going to be doing that. We'll be doing exercises to clear the womb space, to clear the channel, to move through cellular imprints that have been picked up, through all of that. Absolutely. Because think about it this way. If you have a cellular memory, if you have a cellular stamp in your body, the world works in the sense of a Fibonacci sequence, right? Everything is sacred geometry. Fibonacci is a little swirl that swirls in itself and gets bigger and bigger. It's like a snail, right? That circle. So when we pick up a memory or a thought pattern, or we come in with a lineage of our parents, there's this little imprint. And life is dynamic. Life is this Fibonacci sequence that we continue to spiral over and over and over. And in our lives, in our bodies, we have like 100,000 of those Fibonacci sequences. So this is why we repeat a lot of things, right? We may repeat the patterns that our parents lived. If you live a very similar life to your parents, or maybe you don't, but you see very much similarities, it's because that Fibonacci sequence, that little cellular stamp, was passed on, or you pick something up. It could be, you could have picked a belief system up from a past lover, you know? Not that it's a bad or a good thing, it just is. It's how this divine intelligent vehicle works. It's so divine, it's like beyond. So how do you clear those stamps so that they don't keep repeating, right? If you're that person that always attracts the same kind of partner, you're like, why, right? Or is us always attract? This is not even only about partners, guys. This is so much more than attract. I mean, yes, of course, like a partnership is absolutely important, but I'm saying even beyond that, like attracting the same kind of work situations and emotional situations and mental disorders, like there's and wellness, and it's so deep, right? Because we're just this spiral of patterns, and it's our responsibility to take hold of that pattern. That's why I talk about activating the DNA and activating your channel. And those words are so not important. It's so much more about the concept of how do we get this sacred vehicle that we're in, get it to fine tune, right? So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be looking at the energetics of pleasure, of desire, of the sexual force, of our cycles as women, like all of these things that perhaps you don't feel comfortable speaking about or going deep into, right? We've talked about this. If you've ever been in a woman's struggle with me before, we've talked about it, but we're going to go in deep, and we're going to take it, like we're going to take it in, like we're going to go in, and we're going to leave no stone unturned, because it's so important to release everything that we hold on to, those topics, the shame, the guilt, the blame, all of that stuff. We are ready for something new. And you know if you're ready for something new. And you know that maybe you don't know what that new thing is, but it's like, there's got to be something else. That's the new, right? Aloha. Okay, so how do you know if this course is for you? How do you know if this mentorship is for you? Well, if you're listening, I gotta say, like, you already know, right? Like, our intuition is so powerful and so divine. Like, you already know if this is the right place for you. You can ask all the questions you want, you know, you can research all you want, but you already know if it's a yes or a no. But outside of that, like I just said, you know that there's something more. You know that there's something more, and there's something tapping on your shoulder, and maybe you can't put a word to that something. Maybe you have no idea what it looks like, but you get this feeling and this urge, and this is what I felt so many years ago. It's like, there is something building up inside of me. This is like in the very beginning of my journey, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you one thing, it is not what I have lived. And that is all I know. And I am not willing to live what I've already lived. So I don't care what that unknown looks like, I'm stepping towards it. So it doesn't have to be that big or that extreme, but if you feel it, right, in your gut, or in your womb, or in your heart, and your throat, like all of these center points in our bodies that represent like our ability to be in our divinity. If you feel that tapping on your field or in your shoulder, then that's something that's awakening inside of you, that's telling you, hey, there is something. Open your eyes, be open to receive. If you're curious about what the feminine is, like what the divine feminine is, the whole deal about fertility, like what is fertility, tools for fertility, if you are on birth control, girl, gotta talk. Right? Like, there's just so many powerful things. If you're a mother and you have girls, or even if you have boys, if you are a parent and you are ready to pass down a different lineage, and you are ready to pass down different way of being, and you want to give your children power and love without having to, you know, dance around all of that fear and those things that at least I knew that I grew up with, right? My parents, it's what they knew, right? It doesn't have to be that way. If you're ready to release, and honestly, if you're just ready to believe, like that's just what it comes down to. If you're ready to believe that something new exists, and you're ready to open up your heart so deeply to the reality that there is so much light within you, and so much potential, and so much possibility, that just to open the door slightly will drastically shift your perception and your awareness of the way that you live moment to moment. If you are just willing to believe, and I feel that so strongly because my hardest part of my journey has been to believe. Like, no, that can't be. And so if you are ready to believe, then you're ready. And it doesn't matter what you're ready to believe, right? It's just like, I know that there's something more. And that's what I have for you guys. That's what I have. I'm offering an amazing deal because I want this to get this out to women, to our communities. So yes, thank you, Katie. I love you. You're amazing. Activated. Yes. If you're ready to be activated and awaken, the fire, the love, the hearth, right? Like that passion, that ability to live from a new place. We are experiencing such powerful times with this sacred pause. And I know that we're all experiencing it differently, but this has been the biggest blessing of my life. And maybe that's not the way you feel about it, but there's so much potential. Guys, we're like living in the seed of humanity right now, like the literal seed of humanity. If you could just open your heart to believe that and step into it, it will blow your mind. It will blow your heart away. Your heart will explode, right? So I'm offering 44% off. And the number 4 is the foundation. It is 4, right? The structure, the square. We're creating the foundation for the new. So I'm offering 44% off to any woman who brings in a woman. And you both receive it. So you don't have to bring somebody else. Like that person doesn't have to bring anybody else. You will both receive the 44% off. And you will be... And another reason why I did this is because it's always beautiful to do this kind of work with another sister that you feel connected to. And so to have that support and then even have a support of a community around you, oh my God, I can't fucking wait, right? So that's why that came through, like to really build that strong sisterhood. So 44% off, both of you guys. Yes, yeah, Katie, she did the fast. Thank you so much. Yeah, the fast is powerful, and we'll be doing that through the solstice again, and that's gonna be powerful. Yeah, so if you're ready, ladies, share this, and I invite you to step into this portal, of the new, because that's what we're in. And when we all go back, because we're not going back anywhere, we're stepping into something new. And when we step into that new, this thing that we are working, this avatar, this body, it's not even going to be recognized. Like the things that are happening beyond the physical are mesmerizing. And this is why it's such a beautiful time to do this. And this will be the only live mentorship. This is not what I will be focusing on forever. Like the purpose of this is to create the foundation, the structure, that square. So it'll be the only time that I'm going to be doing this live. So you will receive literally live private mentorship in a group setting. And then going forward, it's going to be these pre-recorded videos. Like these videos will be the foundation of the course. And I will have to move on to a different kind of work. And that's why it's so important, right? Because in this sacred pause, it's like we have the time, we have the ability, we have the responsibility to integrate into this new avatar that's literally coming in as we speak every single day. Like these visions and these downloads and these codes and this DNA is like on fire. Let me know if you're feeling it. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. I'm so excited. If you have any questions about it, if you are having financial issues, just reach out to me. It's so much more than that. It is so much more than that. I do honor my time and my energy, because guys, this is like I'm not even sleeping. This is what it is, but I love it. So if you need assistance, yeah, of course I'll help you. But let's honor the wisdom. Let's honor the responsibility. Let's honor our wombs and the void of creation. And if you are a woman who is stepping into menopause, so powerful. You are being initiated into what is a wise woman. I keep hearing from women that have already had their children, and they're like, yeah, I'm good. Like, my time as a woman, like, it's just, I already lived my peak. I'm like, excuse, what? I'm sorry, that's not the reality I'm gonna live. Like, I'm excited for menopause. I can't wait to rip that shit. Because it's like it's such an inverted way of living. Like, what do you mean your days of womanhood? Like, your days of womanhood are beginning. You are becoming the wise woman of your community. You are literally open up to be the channel of the divine, like the receptor, and you are literally holding shit down for your community, right? So like these belief systems that we have around being a woman, right? Like, how do you initiate a girl into getting her menstrual cycle? Like these things that are so important to us. How do you start to love your menstrual cycle? And not only love it, but you can literally step into your wisdom and unlock so much potential and so much truth if you start to tap into the power of your cycle. And truth is the word, because if you're not tapping into your cycle, then pretty much over 50% of your feminine wisdom and intuition is just blocked off. It's just what it is. It's not your fault. It just is what it is. So it's time to revamp, to tap into your intuitive wisdom. And the beautiful part is that you're going to receive it in your own way. So maybe you don't use the word DNA or divine feminine. Like, that's not important. What is important is that you believe that something new exists. You look at the ancient lineage behind you and you say, thank you, I'm ready for more. And you look into your future and you say, hell yes, I am ready. I'm ready to do something different. So if that's you, I would love for you to join me. The 44% off discount for you and your woman, your sister, your love, your mother, your daughter, that 44% off runs until Sunday in honor of the new moon. So the new moon is opening that triple eclipse gateway that we'll be working through together. Holy shit. It's opening it up on Friday. So in honor of all that and all that beautiful stuff, Venus is in retrograde. She's giving us so much power and so much beauty and so much insight and lessons. The 44% off is running until Sunday. And then we have a whole week, and then we'll start, first week of June is when we start the mentorship. Let me know if you have questions. I love you guys. And I'm so excited to share and stream this through, because it's not me. I can attest to that. It is not me. Yes. Woo! All right. Blessings, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Stay tuned. There are some beautiful surprises that I'm working on to share with you guys. And I'm here. Let's do this. I love you. And there's so much information on the website and all over the place. If you can't find it, let me know. Okay. Blessings.